How's everybody doing out there? Now we're going to discuss. Let me put this down. Alright, now we're going to discuss the playoffs. The divisional playoffs, I'm sorry. Let's recap first with the wild card playoffs and see how that turned out. So let me flip my page here, look at my notes. Alright, on January 3rd, the Cardinals and the Panthers went first in the playoffs. That matchup was pretty good. It was tight in the beginning, but then Panthers, I forgot what the final score was, but Panthers wound up winning this one. I don't know what their future will be in the next rounds facing Seattle. But this team so far has really surprised me. I believe they won 4 straight. Did they? Was it 4 or 3? 4 or 3 straight in the regular season, and wound up pulling a win against Cardinals defense. Cam Newton pulled up a win against Cardinals defense, but I kind of think if Carson Palmer was the starting quarterback and he wasn't injured, he was completely healthy, I think the Cardinals would definitely won. I mean, I think Carson Palmer is um, well developed in Bruce Arians' offense. As you know, they went 10-6 last year, and I mean, if Carson Palmer started all 16 games, maybe they could be 12-4, 13-3. Maybe they will be actually an opponent to be scared of in the playoffs. But I really didn't think the Panthers were scared of them coming into this game, having a 7-8-1 record, and the Cardinals having 11-5 record. So usually that doesn't happen. An 11-5 team losing to a 7-8-1 team, but I mean, Panthers were given that one basically being that the third string quarterback was their quarterback in what's his name, Ryan Lindley. Yes, I think they should have started Logan Thomas because they knew they were going to lose that game with Ryan Lindley. So I just wanted them to see what they're having in Logan Thomas. But I'll be right back in just a second. Somebody pulled up in front of my house, but they did a U-turn, went in, pulled out, and went the other way. It happens all the time. But okay, so the 8:30 p.m. was the Ravens and Steelers game. This game, man, disappointed me so much. First of all, I want to give you a little background about where I'm from. Originally, I'm from New York, but I grew up in Pennsylvania, and so I grew up around. I grew up near Philadelphia, so I had a lot of Philly friends, but they were predominantly Steelers fans there. I don't know why, but there were Steelers fans all over the place, and I had a lot of friends that were Steelers fans, and being in that area, all that showed were Philly games and Pittsburgh games, sometimes the Giants games and the Jets games, but yeah. So Pittsburgh has a little place in my heart ever since I lived there for about 7 years, give or take, when I was a little kid. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to see them succeed against this rivalry that they had here against the Ravens. But I mean, they had it in the beginning. I can tell you that I think they had a chance in the beginning. I know they were losing most of the game. Like they had the Ravens had the lead most of the game, and I think they had the lead for about a half a quarter. The Steelers had the lead, but I think I think if Le'Veon Bell was the starting running back, I think they would have won that game. But um, I mean, Ravens win, and that's final. So let's go on to yesterday. I'm recording this and putting this out on Monday. Um, January 4th, the Colts went against the Bengals. This one was kind of easy, but when I said in my prediction video, I told you that the Bengals had a chance of winning. And I stuck to that. I honestly did because the we all know the Colts have some offensive struggles, and the defense have been playing well, but have been given being that Cowboys game gave up big passes. But that defense did extremely good. I can't remember how many sacks they had that game. What was 5 or 6? I don't know. I'll probably someone will probably tell me in the comments or something. But they had a lot of sacks in that game, and they were able to shut down that Bengals offense so many times in the second half. I mean, the running game was sort of there in the first half, in the first quarter for the Bengals, but the Colts just shut them down, and I think they wound up winning like 26-10, if I'm not mistaken. 26-10, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm happy for the Colts. We'll see how good they do against the Broncos, Peyton Manning's team, and facing his former team again. Okay, the last game, which happened last night, whatever, last evening, 4:40. Who cares? The Cowboys went against the Detroit Lions. Now, I predicted the Cowboys to win, but did I want it to happen? I am so sorry. I keep forgetting to put my phone on silent. I do it some days. I don't the other day, but I keep I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, the Cowboys. I wanted them to lose. Why? Because I absolutely hate the Cowboys, and I know it's a biased thing, and I don't really care. I hate the Cowboys, and I'll express that as much as I want to. I think the Lions overall, Matt Stafford performed way better than Tony Romo. I know Matt Stafford had a pick, but it was I know it was a stupid pick because I mean I don't know the defensive lineman's name, but his hand was literally there above the offensive lineman, literally there the whole time, and Matt Stafford decides to swing his way, and I don't know what was going through Matt Stafford's head. You can clearly see that he could see his hand there before he throws the ball, but I think he just wanted to get it out before he gets sacked. So that pick happened, and it was tipped off of someone's hand, and it was caught by a linebacker. So number 51, I believe his number was. So yeah, Matt Stafford I think performed well. Better than Tony Romo. And Tony Romo, you know how he is with that clutch. His fourth quarter clutch. I'll give him that. And that offensive, that defensive pass interference that happened with Hitchens against the tight end Brandon Pettigrew. If you ask me, I personally believe that was definitely an pass interference. The guy did not even look back to see where the ball was. He did pull up against the back of the jersey of Brandon Pettigrew, which I don't really think is a call, but I think it was still, he was messing around with him. And then when the ball was coming and Brandon Pettigrew went to go reach out his hands, you could see the Hitchens kind of like moving his hands away and pushed them down. So I don't know. The rest clearly threw it down. They said they told the audience to call, and they pick up the flag? Why? Well, that makes no sense. And even Dean something, I don't know, the head officiator, whatever, said just now on ESPN that Dean Blandino, there's his name. He said that should have been a call, and so did Mike Pereira, who was actually at the game, who said that should have been a call. And so they gave the excuse that these people have not worked together before, the officiating crew have not worked together before, whatever. But yeah, I spent too long time on this game. So Cowboys win and make a fourth quarter comeback. Truthfully, they say that penalty didn't decide the game, but I truly think it did. All right, sure, there was 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in the game, but if they would have scored there, they would have had enough points to make sure that the Cowboys didn't make so much of a comeback to win the game. I mean, if that was a third down play. All right, if it was a first down play, it wouldn't have mattered. But it was a third down play, and if they would have got that, and if they would have kept moving down the field, and they would have scored that touchdown, even if Dallas had scored that other touchdown, they would have Detroit still would have won that game, and they would have moved on to the divisional playoffs. So that's what I believe. So whatever. Yeah, if you want to discuss it, just put it in the comments. I mean, I'm always open to people telling me what they think, and maybe change my mind because I'm not always right all the time. So, all right, let's move on to the divisional playoffs. Yay! First, you've got the Ravens squaring off against the Patriots. Now, we've seen this before. Joe Flacco is 2-1 against Tom Brady and the Patriots. And that loss, I saw this on Sports Nation, and that loss came from a dropped pass, but I do not know the receiver's name, but it came by a dropped pass. The receiver's fault, so it wasn't Joe Flacco's fault. Let me just say this. Joe Flacco is a freaking wizard in the playoffs. I don't know what he's an average quarterback at best. He was ranked number 11, just above Eli Manning, who was number 12. Yeah, go Eli Manning. He was ranked number 11 in the quarterback rankings. But in the playoffs, I really think he should be at least in the top 3. I mean, some of you might be shaking your head. But if you think about it, when he goes to the playoffs, he just dominates. He has 11 touchdowns and no interceptions in the postseason. Wow, that is insane. I mean, I know he's not the best. I know he's not the best quarterback in the regular season. You don't really hear his name in the highlights, and but I really think he is a great quarterback, and he deserves all the hype he gets. And he doesn't deserve all the crap he gets, because when he makes it to the playoffs, when it actually matters, he actually performs. So I don't know if that's maybe just how they've been coaching him or whatever, but the Patriots and the Ravens. I think the Patriots will win this game. I know Joe Flacco is 2-1, but the Patriots have a really potent offense. I know they had their troubles. I mean, even the best fall. So they had their troubles in the beginning of the year, and they slowly risen up to be probably the number 1 offense in the league as of this season, just this season. So I think the Patriots will pull this one off 31-24. That is what I think. So yeah, the Patriots will move on to the AFC Championship. The Seahawks and the Panthers. Like I said, the Panthers were given that game. They don't really belong in the playoffs necessarily, but I think the Panthers do perform well. I don't think they will perform well against the Seahawks at CenturyLink Field. I know CenturyLink Field has been a crazy place to play in, so I know the Cam Newton's going to have a tough time there. I'll give them 14 points. Let's say Seahawks 26 and Panthers 14. Nothing really to say about that game because I kind of think the Seahawks are going to win no matter what I say. The Cowboys and the Packers. This is going to be definitely the game of the week for me in the playoffs. The best away team is facing the best home team. 8-0 for the Cowboys away and 8-0 for the Green Bay Packers at home. So, and convincingly so. The Cowboys have dominated in away games besides the Giants game. And the Packers have dominated home games, most definitely scoring 50 points and over in 2 games. So let's start off with the quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is just a beast. Tony Romo is clutch. But if you think about it, in order to be clutch, you have to be doing bad in the other 3 quarters. So I think Aaron Rodgers is all around just an amazing quarterback. He plays all 4 quarters like an amazing quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the game, over Peyton Manning and Tom Brady as of this season. So I think the Packers will pull this one off 34-20. Now let me get to this Colts and Broncos game before this thing cuts me off, as it always does. I don't know if this is an upset, but I'm going to choose the Indianapolis Colts to win against the Broncos. I'm going to say this because the Broncos have been struggling, and Peyton Manning has been known to choke in the playoffs. So, I am really going to take the Indianapolis Colts against the Broncos. People are going to call me crazy, I know that for sure. But I truly think, Andrew Luck is amazing in the playoffs. I mean, Exhibit A comes from the Chiefs, down 38 points. 38 points, by the way. 38-10 in the half or the third quarter, and he makes a comeback and wins the game. Who would have thought if you were watching and it said 38-10, I would even keep watching because I already know who won the game. But then you look on NFL Mobile and you see, oh wow, the Colts won that game. That's insane. So I think the Colts are going to win this game either way. Peyton Manning's going to have 2 picks, and Andrew Luck's going to have 3 touchdowns. So that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think down below. Yeah, so I'll be back for the NFC and the AFC championship games. Almost there to the Super Bowl, baby. So, who will be in the AFC championship? It will be the Colts squaring off with the Patriots, which is a great game to watch. I hope that happens. And the NFC championship will be between the Seahawks and the Packers. So we'll see how that plays off. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next week.